This weekend may be Central Coast Mariners' last opportunity to keep finals hopes alive in the A-League men's competition coming up against Melbourne Victory away. It's always a tough match. We did beat Victory away. It's worth mentioning last season. That dramatic and crucial 3 points. And of course, this is a rematch of last season's grand final that, of course, the Mariners did win. But of course, that grand final does feel like quite some time ago. It has been a really poor run of form for Central Coast Mariners, especially in the last few months. Mariners in all competitions, man, we are now 8 games without a win. You have to go all the way back to the 17th of January, away to Wanderers, that 3-1 win. But since then, we've had a really tough run of form. The last couple of home games, incredibly disappointing and frustrating as well. The 4-0 loss to Wanderers and then 3-1 to Western United. These 2 games were supposed to sort of be the turning point where, those couple consecutive home games where we could really turn our home form around in the A-League. But now, we're coming up against Victory, and then next week as well, Auckland. I mean, this is really it for Central Coast Mariners. The task is looking so difficult as it is, as it's laid out in front of us already. Look, as we can see here, Mariners currently heading into this game in 10th position. 21 points. That is 9 points behind Victory, who are they themselves heading into this round in 6th place. So look, if we manage to get a win, it does sort of keep the dream alive a little bit, but still it's going to take a big effort from the Mariners, and we do need to see some huge improvements from the team in the remaining games. So let's talk about this matchup and what we can expect. We'd love to get your thoughts as well, your predictions and feelings heading into this match for this upcoming weekend. First of all, let's have a look at Melbourne Victory, how they have fared this season. As we saw, they're 6th on the ladder, but they have been strong for much of the campaign. In recent weeks, the 1-1 draw last time out to Brisbane Roar, one of Victory's worst performances of the season for me. I thought they were pretty average in that game. There was a last-minute equaliser from Casey Boss that earned them a point, but almost an embarrassing loss there to struggling Brisbane Roar. The 2-2 draw in the Melbourne Derby before that, defeating Wellington Phoenix, but they did lose 3-0 to Newcastle Jets as well. It has been an up-and-down season at times for Melbourne Victory. Obviously, we know they lost head coach Patrick Isnorbo earlier on in the campaign. Arthur Dillis has come in, and he has won a few games here and there for Victory. But they certainly have had their, a little bit of inconsistency as well. Overall, though, 8 wins, 6 draws, 5 losses for Melbourne Victory. Defensively, one of the stronger teams in the competition have only conceded 23 goals in 19 games, which is all right. Central Coast Mariners, obviously, looking at our goals, scoring 21, which just isn't good enough, and now conceding 34. We have conceded a lot of goals this campaign, unfortunately. And that's the thing that may well hurt us as well in this season is our goal difference. Even if we do have, even if we are able to gain points on those top 6 teams, the goal difference might affect us in the end, that's for sure. For the Mariners, heading into this matchup, what changes do we need to see? Obviously, poor results in our recent last couple matches. The Western United match, you guys can go check out the review video we did for that. There was a lot of improvements for Mariners. Just looking at the fact that we made 17 shots was an improvement. There has been many games where we've had a high number of shots. The disappointing aspect, once again, though, was our failure to take those opportunities. 3 shots. Something that Mariners have struggled with a lot this season is creating opportunities, not just taking them, but even just creating them. We've looked pretty toothless in the final third. I thought against Western was maybe one of our best games this season in terms of chance creation. We looked really dangerous. There was great opportunities to score multiple goals, and we weren't able to take them, and it just wasn't good enough. That simply was it at the end. We got into great positions, and the players have to take those opportunities, especially in these crucial games where we simply need to win. It was really, really disappointing. And again, there was just too many times where Western just sort of cut through us far too easily. So we need a major improvement when it comes to, in front of goal. And I wonder if one change that we could potentially look at to the starting 11 is Nico Duarte to start. I would, again, I've been saying it for the last few weeks now, but I think I would urge Mark Jackson to make these big, bold changes. And I think bringing Nico Duarte straight into the starting lineup would be a bold change. He's just coming back from injury, but it feels like at this point of time, we need something different up front. Alu Kowal provides great physicality. He's good in the air. We could even maybe try playing Kowal alongside Duarte, maybe shift Apizio out wide. It feels like for so much of this campaign, Jackson has been doing his best to try and find that right combination going forward, and it just hasn't clicked. It hasn't clicked. The system clearly isn't working going forward as well. I do, heading into this season, and from what we saw, obviously, at the end of last season, it was working very, very well. It was effective, but it almost feels like maybe opposition teams have maybe figured us out. This isn't just my opinion, it's facts. I mean, the fact that we've only scored, again, looking at our ladder, 21 goals in 19 games. There's been so many matches where we've been unable to score goals and win games. And we need a system and a style of play that's going to win games. At this point in the season now, where, again, we've drawn 9 matches, which is just incredible. Just 4 wins in 19 games. We need to win matches. We need to do whatever it takes to win matches now. We really need to go for it and really chase games and push players forward and show even more ambition. I was impressed with the level of ambition that we did show against Western United, but it's seriously, this is the time for these players to seriously step up and show us what they're capable of. Because again, I'm positive about this team. I'm positive about the squad. There is the quality there. Hayne Eames has been good this season. Mikel Docker is always a threat, has maybe been a little bit quiet in recent weeks. It's great having Lucas Moragas back because he provides a lot more attacking thrust on that left-hand side as well. Again, I'd probably stick with Sash Kazewski at right back. Again, similar to Moragas, he provides a bit more attacking threat on that right-hand side when we do have the ball as well. So, in terms of changes from that lineup, obviously we expect to maybe see Sainsbury come back in, whether Paul drops out. I mean, maybe even Kaltak could be a chance to drop out to shift Trent Sainsbury back in there. So there's certainly some headaches in terms of selection there as well. Looking at the bench, I would love to see Faisal return as well. He's another one who I think Mariners fans have been really impressed with since he arrived in January. He's one of those guys that has that ambition, who has that drive, who is eager to take defenders on. And it's just a matter of time before the goals start flowing for this young, talented, exciting player who has an enormous future. And, it's so great to have him at the Mariners. And I think at this point in the season, we need to be giving someone like Faisal game time to be coming in and impacting the game. McCalmont's the other one as well. I think we could well see McCalmont return to the lineup. I think in the last two cameo appearances he's had off the bench, he has shown promising signs. Whether you drop Steele or Eames maybe in midfield, that's an interesting one. But I feel like maybe you have to get Alfie McCalmont in there from the start. He just provides something a bit different. His passing game, I think, is probably the best out of all of our midfielders. Capable of playing, a long ball to switch the play, to open things up. So I think it would really help the team to have McCalmont in there. That's for sure. But aside from that, I don't think I'd make too many other drastic changes. But obviously, we need to make sure we go in with a lineup who, is going to keep Victory quiet, but also capable of scoring goals. Looking at Melbourne Victory's most recent lineup against Brisbane Roar, I only managed to rack up 10 shots for on target. Victory again. It was one of their poorer games for the season, in my eyes. They've got one of the strongest teams in the competition. I think that goes without saying. Burgos up top, Machash in behind him, Santos and Piscopo are dangerous players in the wide areas. 2 hard-working midfielders that we know very well from last season in Valadon and Teague. And then you got that experienced back line, those 2 central defenders in Hamill and Roderick Miranda playing in front of Mitch Langerak. It's a team that's got plenty of quality, good balance, and dangerous players off the bench as well. So Mariners are going to have to be switched on for all of the 90 minutes, of course, to nullify this Victory side. But, they're so dangerous going forward, Victory. If we can try and nullify those counterattacks and catch them out, when they do break forward. And we do see, especially Casey Boss on that left-hand side, he loves getting forward. That can be an area that we look to exploit for Mariners on that right-hand side, whether it is Thea Harris, Docker, Faisal. There's so many different players that we could see play that role for Central Coast Mariners on that right wing. That could be an area of the pitch that Mariners look to exploit down that right-hand side, especially with Casey Boss and the way he has those sort of marauding runs forward down that left-hand side. So that could be one for Mark Jackson to look at. Of course, I'm sure him and his coaching staff have a game plan heading into this match. But again, the plan has to be the win. That is the main takeaway heading into this game. Looking at the ladder once again, 9 points behind Melbourne Victory. Again, we reduce it to 6 with a win, and a win would be huge, man. Again, it's just incredible seeing just 4 wins for this season off 19 A-League men's games, which is just shocking and hugely disappointing heading into this season. Yes, injuries have affected us, and we've talked at length about the departures that we've seen at Central Coast Mariners, but this is the game, man. This is the game. I feel like if we lose this one, the gap could potentially be, grow to 12 points, right? at that point it's done. At that point it's done for me. I don't think it's going to be, I don't think we're gonna able to salvage a final spot at that stage as well. And again, thinking about the games we've got coming up, Auckland away, we've got some tough home matches coming up as well. It doesn't get any easier from here. So it is a huge test for the Mariners. But we know we are capable of beating this Melbourne Victory side. We played out a tight 0-0 draw with them earlier on in the season as well. We're going to back the team, man. We're going to believe that we can keep fighting all the way to the end until it's mathematically impossible. So hopefully we go in and put in a big performance, an improved performance, and take our chances when we do get them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Huge game coming up this weekend for Central Coast Mariners away to Melbourne Victory this Saturday. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Hit the like button on the way out. My name's Lockie, and I'll see you in the next one.